Hello, Oracles. Well, here we are, packing up, getting ready to fly home at the end of our vacation, and this week has been one of the best weeks I have ever had. So, to my family who is watching this, thank you so much. I love you guys, and all of you guys as subscribers, I love you guys as well. And to top it all off, Tesla finished over $900 this week with a nice run to finish us off, heading into next week where we can see the run into the split start. Now, as Gary Black had mentioned over on Twitter, before Elon started selling, we were at $926, and seeing as he was really the only major selling pressure that we had, should be no problem to get back to that $926 mark. Now, as we talked before all of this, we had a resistance at about 935. We bounced off of 935, and then we bounced off of 940 twice, right before the annual shareholder meeting. Could not break through it, and we fell down significantly. So this time around, if we come up to test it again, we will have to see if we can break through. I have a strong feeling, based upon all of the information we have gotten over the last week, that we will break through this. And this past week, we got CPI data beating expectations. Inflation is still high, but it's trending in the right direction. Same with PPI. PPI, we beat expectations. So these are two great numbers that are pointing us in the right direction that caused the entire macro to rally, and this in turn caused Tesla to run a little bit more. We also had after hours on Friday, the House passed the EV tax credit. This was obviously expected since the Democrats control the House. Now it goes on to President Biden, who we know is going to sign this because he has been cheering for this all along. We also got more bullish news that the Soros fund added $20 million worth of Tesla in the second quarter. So we have more and more big money coming into the stock. Gary Black has been tracking institutional investment in Tesla, and we have gone from 44% to 53% in a very short amount of time. So now we are looking at the potential of a credit rating upgrade for Tesla. Don't know if we're going to get it in August. Gary thinks it's going to happen in August. I think it's going to happen in November. But when that happens, we will have a significant jump in institutional percentage ownership in the stock as well, which will increase the stock price and balance us out and make it less volatile. In awesome fundamental news, when it comes to production, Shanghai had a record 8,800 plus vehicles sitting on the dock ready for export. Fremont is packed and bursting at the seams, ready to deliver vehicles. Now people are saying, well, demand seems to be waning, demand is coming down. Well, with the EV tax credit being passed, we have basically unlimited demand going forward for at least the next 10 years. And now we are also looking at the Model 3 long range being shut off and ordering in US and Canada due to a waitlist that is too long, according to Elon. Now Elon is also touting FSD beta 10.69 being fire. And as Sawyer Merritt had pointed out over on Twitter, Elon doesn't usually get this excited about a new FSD beta release. He gets excited, he shares things, usually just gives us a date on stuff, but this one he is extremely excited about. Elon himself said this is big, so very much looking forward to that. That is dropping on August 20th, according to Elon. And as we had discussed before, we are looking to find our new trading range, and the trading range is going to be determined by the macro environment. Tesla itself will be testing the top, and the macro environment will be testing the bottom to show us how low we could go. So right now we have those gaps that go down to 742 and 776. However, the Nasdaq is now back in a bull market. So this is a very positive and bullish thing. So if we do end up pulling back, it doesn't mean that we are going to go into a bear market. We could just pull back, fill those gaps, and then continue to come back up again. Or we may not fill them at all. After having several discussions with you guys in the comments, at this point, seeing as where we are headed, seeing as the split is going to be happening within the next 10 days, I have a feeling that if we do end up filling those gaps, they will end up happening post-split. And those gaps post-split would be 247 and 259 respectively. So again, gaps fill 9 out of 10 times. Tesla has filled every single gap that it has created this year, but we have been in a bear market for the majority of the year. The Nasdaq is now back in a bull market. So we will just track this. It's just something to keep in the back of my mind as a potential possibility. And for me, again, if we end up getting ourselves pulled back down to those levels, I am going to deploy significant cash, because looking at all the positive catalysts that we have coming up, I want to have even more money put into Tesla at this time. And so I'm still trying to get myself to that 69%. It'll be close for me to get to my 12 shares as a goal ahead of the split, especially if we do continue to run. But I'm not going to complain if we end up getting that split split and a little bit of a pullback, I will just add them at that point, because don't forget, when we get a split, the valuation does not change. So let me know your thoughts on closing over $900 this week. Do you think we are going to be able to get to $1,000 prior to the split? I think it is a possibility. I said it before, it was a possibility, and I think that possibility chance is even higher now. I think we have about a 60% chance of hitting $1,000 before the split. Doesn't seem like there's anything in the way stopping us from getting there, so this is going to be an awesome week as far as I'm concerned, unless we get something that comes out of the blue that we aren't expecting that turns everything around. And based off of all the vehicles that we are seeing at Fremont and Berlin and Shanghai, seems like we may end up having a surprise Q3 for production. I thought we were going to come a little bit short, still have a record quarter, but I thought we were going to fall a little bit short of some people's expectations, but then have a monster Q4. I still think we are going to hit 500,000 vehicles in Q4 alone. Let me know your thoughts on what you think production will be for Q3 and Q4. If you do not follow him, check out a Tesla bot over on Twitter. He has a very good track record when it comes to production and delivery numbers. Very good to follow him and Troy Tesla as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one. And the stock market can be quite a jungle out there, especially as a Tesla investor. So here's some videos of all the animals that we saw at the zoo. Let me know if you recognize any of them as analysts, as content creators, as social media analysts, or as some Tesla Q members.
Mama's waking up the baby, right? Yeah. They're napping. I think Daddy's going potty.
They keep coming out. Look at that.
You want to stand on the bench?
Must have seen someone in the crowd. Yes. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Do you sometimes love his wife and all of his girls and the cubs that live in the pine? They both have very important jobs. So, Ernest.
Whoa, look at that. Not by the wall. That's